the things people carry to say a lot about them. Some people carry a lot. I don't carry a whole lot.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Oto Gomes Crypto Show. I'm your host, Oto Gomes. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing interview with my good brother, Zondo. His real name is Abraham Mellish, and he is just music embodied. I really love the music that he performs and that he oozes out of his body, and it's just amazing to me. It's just it creates healing, it creates love, it creates connection, and I cannot wait for you guys to listen to this music. Born in Liberia in 1990 during that bloody civil war, Abraham Zondo Mellish grew up knowing mostly death and survival. After the Second War, separated from the other members of his family, he arrived alone in America at the tender age of 15. Music found and embraced him there. Today, Zondo developed his own sound by combining traditional folk, funk, and blues with an African pulse using bass notes juxtaposed with intricate finger picking to establish a rhythm steeped in Liberian roots. His songs create an atmosphere of community, telling the story of his heritage with an inspirational message of oneness. The world is in demand for love, connection, and community. And I truly believe that Zondo is going to be this generation's Bob Marley, spreading awareness and truth through the sound of music. Ladies and gentlemen, Zondo. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Oto Gomes Crypto Show. My name is Oto Gomes. I'm your host. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing, beautiful soul that is just expanding light and love into this universe. And I'm so grateful and honored to be on this live with my good friend, Abraham, aka Zondo Mellish. My brother, thank you, sir, for being a part of this interview in this episode. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.
Brother, I'm like I said, I'm so grateful for you. The first time I heard you play was at the Sacred Sons event in Oregon, in the middle of a forest, surrounded by trees and just the elements.
Yeah,
I cried listening to you play. It was the first time I've ever had another man sing to me, and I cry. Tell me your story. Tell me your journey to this point, how you were able to get to a point where you were literally expressing the deepest parts of you through that music. So tell me your journey, and specifically, like, what was your red pill moment, that moment that really like shifted you away from this reality?
Well, you're asking me to tell you the story of 666, old carbon friend. Life. Yes. The pressure for me started, day one. In fact, I couldn't cry growing up. That's not me. I had to make sure crying babies die where I come from. But so when I came to America and the different type of silence, in Africa, we had that very present violence, type of silence, but our mind was free to be with each other in such a way. In America, there's not such that violence, but it's you start finding, you can get caught up in these mental loops, and life just becomes stale and dull, and you're living not even feeling like you're alive, type of situation. So I kind of had the pressure from both ends of the spectrum when it comes to the trauma of shock, that you get from shock and just for living And with that situation, you have a perfect recipe for something to crack open, and because it's kind of like, it's just like this wiggling effect of life where when, you're under so much pressure, you kind of have to find a way out of your self-imposed trap, or even the ones that's imposed onto you, even like people in like search for meaning, people in like concentration camp where they can, you have the crack, the moment where you choose, when you decide that I must choose. And for me, that choosing was the music. I just loved what it did for me and what it did for other people in my circle, and I chose to do music because because I needed it myself. I needed to be able to like have some sweetness in life, and something about doing one thing really well to a point where you can say what you feel like saying and still feel like the world is moving,
I love that. Yeah. It's like being able to, with the chaos around you, still be in the flow, right? So tell me, like, what was it, how was that journey coming into that space? Like, maybe even like,
well, it started in the dark, it started in the absolute dark. My father was engineer, in Liberia. They call us pole monkeys. All of my family are like people that work in telecommunication or some sort of engineers in that sense. So my father worked with fiber optics, and he liked music, but he was indoctrinated at the Zondo mission. He was educated at the Zondo mission in Zondo in Zondo town. There's a whole bunch of Zondo variations once you start going around Zondo towns.
Tell me about that. Like, so where did that name come from? Why are you called Zondo?
Well, I'm called Zondo because grandfather called me Zondo when I was a boy, and grandfather was chief and likened to king, but would say more like chief, and great grandfather was king of Zondo town, and his story is the one of being captured and having escaped and returned, and also having the sensibility and foresight to kind of integrate our cultural ways with Christianity, to a point where it was a healthy relationship. Like it's kind of like it's a sad story of the very long word that is kind of snaky. I can't even say. One has to go like colonialism.
Yeah, colloquialism.
The colonialism or whatever it's called. He was didn't like music, and he had all of these stereotypes and fear and shadows that have been painted of the black male, at least, especially foreigners, black body people, African comes in, like, on one level, Africans, it's so funny. You see it, and Liberia is a good case study of just like the sort of like it's the funniness, but just like dysfunction of this hierarchical system of thought and what it does. So you have, people in Africa coming to Africa and being steered by stereotypes that tells them to not do things that are that are Africans. That is everybody. I'm saying not to be associated with music, not to be as though being loose and free, was against effectiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, but me, I'd follow Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? So I dance and fight. So I don't know, but that was just his programming, and that programming started way on in Liberia, and it was brought there by the American Liberians who didn't even want to go back to Liberia. You know what I'm saying? They were kind of forced and corralled or whatever you not into back onto the boat to go back to settle Africa, and they didn't have any other system of finances. So they themselves recreated the same thing that the settlers created when they came to America, being indebted to America as opposed to England than the Queen, So, and then you have the same type of mentality. Even like I have friends from India, they won't, they believe into that same type of virus, that colonialism or whatever it's called, or whatever the name is coming to these days, where they will, where India, great India, the ink that is India, that is black. Sometimes I see an Indian person hand, I don't even know what type of hand I'm looking at. I always think it's a black man hand, but you will have a situation where people from India won't want to associate themselves as being in relations to black people. At least it's some things we observe in the African community in India. Like, my father, conversations I've and sort of inner knowing of the, my family life and the struggles like my father had in his workplace, being an engineer, where people from India would not, accept him or look down upon him and project the stereotype. And I'm saying, so why he projected stereotype African-American, they're projecting stereotype about blacks. And I'm saying, and
it's the same division from both sides. Yeah.
So it's just, very funny, So I realized that because of the life that I had, I kind of realized that I wouldn't see my father, and a lot of other people in my family could hide behind education, and like they could hide behind status, But for me, that wouldn't be the case, like because of the the sequence of event that happened from age 0 to 15, one after the next, made it difficult for me in that way, and the difficulties, what I'm saying, like the difficulties that leaves you out of just like anything that isn't feeling, so you just go to a different sense. You go to the workshop, man. You go to the workshop and you sweat, and that's what it is. I'm saying, like, like when I pick up that guitar, man, I sweat,
Putting in that time, right? The effort, because I think what you're trying to say is like, there's a difference between learning and then just regurgitating it intellectually, and actually learning it and then embodying it and like putting in the work and sweating and yeah. Wow,
yeah,
I asked that question about the red pill moment, and I'm realizing now that you were born with the red pill. You were born and you just took the red pill immediately, and then you just lived your life with that awareness, with that sensitivity to this world. Wow.
Yeah. Well, that the thing is, the music brought back that sensitivity, because I was alive from age 0 to 7. Then I definitely was dead from 8 to 13, 14, 15. I was just I was just completely dead. I was, because I was dead. It was just one foot after the other, no purpose, just dead. And when I came to America, I wasn't alive either, because you have all this new sensory information. Now we don't, you don't have you have different type of war. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you like, if you don't think if you don't know your neighbor and you think you're not at war, something's wrong with you.
Wow, that's a good point. Yeah, it is a different kind of war, right? You have this physical war going on in Liberia, but then here it's like this mental war.
Yeah.
The soul.
Yeah. So in it just those things that I just value so much. To me, I just I've always been like a people person. It's like, even during the wartime, I was the one teaching all my friends their ABCs, getting together, doing those. They had a little show going on with Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? A whole set going on,
See, that's healing, man. That's healing right there. And that's why I really truly believe that you are in a very unique position to share that kind of healing power or vibration, because you experience a sort of war already growing up. So now it's like we just mentioned, it's this different kind of war. So you're like, the message is the same, bro. It's got to push that message out.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about it is that it has to free me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to be clear of any and all hate in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a lot of suppressed anger and hateful feelings that at times is directed towards me or misdirected, and I have to put myself up to the light so that no darkness can exist in me. It's just what it is, because the shit hurts too much.
I want to even say it. I want to compound on that thought and kind of even say it in a different way. I feel like what you do is because you have that darkness. We all have that darkness inside of us, right? We all have some sort of darkness inside of us. You have a gift in being able to alchemize that energy, that darkness, into these beautiful, compilations, these songs that are just like vibrant. And so that's your gift, brother. That's your gift. Your gift is not, just the music, just the singing, just the creation aspect of it.
It's
the ability to alchemize.
The first time I touched the guitar, my friend Dallas was like, "Man, you know what? You can't sing. You kind of sound like a Black Bob Dylan." I'm saying we should just shut up for a good while. Like, hi, who's Bob Dylan? Then I went and checked. Well, actually, I did know Bob Dylan at that time, but he was like, I got into him more after that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you have a unique ability, man, a unique ability, and you taught yourself, right? You taught yourself how to play the guitar.
Yeah, in fact, I realized something about attention, and my son is enjoying all the benefits of everything I've learned about attention. I might not be able to wield it, but he will pull out Excalibur,
I love that. The Excalibur of attention. I love it.
Yeah, man. Because I would have to play in the closet in door closed. I'm saying behind the other door. We're in a 2-bedroom when we moved in Texas, and yeah, that's if my father came home and heard me playing the guitar, you'll break it, So, and I don't know what about it I couldn't get tired of. My only regret has been I have thought about it so vastly and done so little of it, I've even put together a whole book, because I realized fully after I had met Babe in Chicago. His real name is Robert Irvin III, and he would like produce Miles. And I was just walking on the beach, and I met him one time, and we became friends and stuff. And he was telling me about Miles and how, you know, how he really was able to process, how they were able to process music. And it's really unfortunate that, you know, he had to like go in such a way, because it's just basic. It's our natural birthright, you know, to interpret God, you know, and to feel God. I'm saying colors, that the attributes of our life, without being overwhelmed by it, you know, and to be, you know, to kind of be with it, like, you know, like water in a sense. So like the colors are music, man. It's just it's really simple, man. It's really simple, and it's all lined up. And I'm saying,
I'm so glad you said that just now, by the way. I'm so glad you said that color is music. So I have a great question for you that you've mentioned to me before, and I want to kind of expand on it. Synesthesia. Synesthesia is this weird thing that happens when the senses start to kind of like mix with each other.
Yeah.
So tell me your experience with synesthesia and what that means to you.
It's just aha, man. We all got it. It's nothing big. It's really the aha. It's like when you put your key on a peg and you come back and your key is there. Aha. You know what I'm saying? And
okay.
Yeah. And so the creator of all that is sought to line up music with colors. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
So if you take the feelings and you know, you take your feeling, it's kind of like it's a subtle art, you know, but it just the Vedas and you know, and it tells a lot about the regions too, man. You know, the Vedas, they did it the best. The Indians from India, they really documented this knowing of mode and what exactly each mode will do to you, or what type of ocean, because, you know, it's not like a painting and the painting, you can kind of take your attention from it, you know, a little bit easier. But when you're in a music bubble, you know what I'm saying? This is just like a visual container, you know what I'm saying? But when you're in a music thing, that's why musicians must put themselves to the fire, because when you are expressing from heart vibration, the light out to this, you know, through the prism of this guitar into the world, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You have to know what you're doing, man. You know, not know, but you have to know it, and you have to believe, and you have to be transposing into it. And for me, I, like most people, struggle with belief. With a name like Abraham, I've walked with Muslims, I've walked with Christians and Krishnas and et cetera, you know, I've turned over every rock, you know, and double checked every burning bush for God. And I, you know, I can, you know, and that's not something I see myself ever stopping, because it's something that it's a study for me. During the wartime, there was one verse that have defined my life, and I'm grateful for it. It was 2 Timothy 2, verse 15, which was study to show myself approval unto God. And it just ran on repeat. You know, workman needed not to be ashamed, but rightly driven by the search for truth. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That was God's word. You know what I'm saying? And in that name, Abraham, the AB, you know, how do we search for truth? We AB it. You know what I'm saying? And then you find your, you know, you show yourself and you reflect. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know? And then you're one. You know what I'm saying? You can be like, you know, I don't know. We all have different nature, but my nature comes out very well whenever I'm able to clearly A/B it and feel it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that was bad. Okay. I didn't go well with that one.
Yeah, no. So what I'm hearing is like you know, you're describing, we started describing the synesthesia, but so when the person is playing music, when they're, as opposed to like looking at a painting.
Yes. Bring it back in. Forgive me.
It's okay. It's okay. Cause I just wanted to kind of bring it back around just to get that understanding.
Yes.
So when the person's submerged, you're saying that the feeling is connected to the music, which is essentially sort of, because that's a vibration. So it's sort of like a meshing that happens between the two.
Yeah.
So with you, is that what happens or something?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. What it is the feeling. It's the feeling. Putting the feeling with the right, or putting the color to the right feeling and vice versa. But just like being like being present with like it's all like water, man. It's like, it's different type of waters, but it's being present to the mood of the container. You know what I'm saying? Red, it's just what, that's like ground zero right there. And then everything else, you can go more in depth, you can get nerdier. And for me, the more time I spend in it, the more specific and detail, like I can, now I'm at the point where I could take a painting and turn it into, a basic movement. You know what I'm saying, but the deeper you go, the more connections you can make, because you're not going to find a better key holder than colors to hang your memory on.
I love this because what you're doing is it's almost like a challenge, almost like trying to find the colors in the numbers, or find the numbers in the music, find the colors in the music, like all this fine tuning of finding the connections between each other.
Yeah.
And it seems like if you probably got to a point now where what you're describing is like you can look at colors and know and feel the music, right?
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can do it from the beginning too. That's why I'm on the left now, because I realized I always had the ability to be honest about the way I feel, because I've been feeling sucky for a long time. So, all the varieties of sucky I know very well, and all the, and when happiness comes, I really appreciate it, and it's been coming. I'm looking forward to having more and more of it. I'm able to be. It's just like when I have this weight, this guitar, it's a weight. It's a weight, and it's something I carry. You know what I'm saying? The things that people. The things people carry say a lot about them. Some people carry a lot. I don't carry a whole lot. I haven't carried a whole lot in my life. But the things I have carried. I think waking up for me began when I started going into myself through studying the things that I like and I carry.
Yes. Because you say carry, but I get that. It's like the things that are a part of you, that are you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this world doesn't practice that. They practice suppression or avoidance of that darkness. So yeah, man, I get that now. You made so much. You brought so much clarity to the synesthesia question, because I see that now as I always thought it was something that's. It needs to naturally happen to you, and it's just unique, but it feels like it's something that could be practiced, and you could actually embody it and get it.
Absolutely. It's very simple. In fact, if you do it from the beginning, it's just like, well, it's kind of mind blowing, because I think what happens is that lots of barriers just fall away when you,
limitations. I love that. I love breaking down limitations. It's my favorite.
Because it's like you can just see something in your mind and also play it. And everybody should be able to do that. And it's really the natural way. If they describe God as like, some who describe God with a flute, angels with a horn. Those things, those vibrations, they are what they are. And, all of our life is vibration, different octaves of them. You know what I'm saying?
It says it in the Bible, that God is omnipresent. Like, what do you think? What do you think omnipresence means? Literally, omnipresent means everywhere. It's in everything. I digress, right? That's the whole topic. Wow. One of the talking more about the synesthesia really brought me back to the moment that I first saw you playing at Sacred Sons there in Oregon in that forest. First of all, it was magical. It was magical, the setup. But I remember a moment where you were singing and there was these grunts, these like visceral, like really authentic, raw grunting and releasing. I've done a lot of work in EMDR, which is emotional release therapy. It's a type of therapy that helps release trauma, like actual physical tension from the tissue. So like when I saw you doing that, I'm like, dude, this guy is up there. Actually, it's therapy. It's like actual therapy for you. It looked like.
Yeah, man. I have this funky chair that I sit on, keeps me bouncing because, I have all of
that chair.
all of this trauma from the war and the scoliosis and all of that. And I still, I just have to, but the thing is, it's not all physical, a lot of it is emotional and spiritual. And when I'm playing, I'm in the vibration. And if I'm tuned in right, I'm feeling this, so like a lot of time people pick up the guitar, right? Let me tell you how dumb this is. Almost not a very few people know how to play the guitar. There's one guy I know who knows how to play the guitar. His name is Vaishnava Sivanandadas, who I wrote a song for. He's a monk. He lives in a temple. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of the best guitar players that ever lived. And when the people who know how to play the guitar, there's a situation where you are actually supposed to like just feel the tension, like actually know how to simply press and feel the tension and feel the notes and feel, normally you don't even need to see the color system. If you were to actually give it time, which is love, if you ask me, can be, simply can be at base level translated to time. That's the base for love, time plus something, but definitely time,
100%. Time is the one thing you can't make more of or change. I agree.
Exactly. And I give and then I give you, so like, hey, I love you. I give you my time. I give you the actions in that time, is that just time is the container, So it's just when you actually put in time to understand how much is too much for you and too much for another, you know what I'm saying? You're A and B in it, you're dancing, and when you're A, B in it, you are synesthesia, whatever they call it, in itself, because you're going to be like, when I hit that note, it resonate on this part of me, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you're going to start following, going to start being with the energy, and when you can give it the reverence, I'm saying, that's what I say, study to show oneself, the way, approval, and it's then you can communicate, man. This is why music going forward, man, I'm so excited to map out all of these ragas and then just like start mapping out stories too, based on their theme and their colors. That's simple and fun activity, but.
Oh, I love that. And you described it so well. Like what's actually happening in your body, like the way you described it, I can visually see it. I have to ask, because this world is just, it's a cesspool of triggers, this world right now. And I've had to start a few practices myself to be able to like withstand the triggers and withstand those moments. So what do you do for yourself on a daily basis that you could tell others that are listening that are like grounding practices?
Oh man, I'm gonna be real quick and easy with you, man. There is an app.
Ooh, I love apps.
And it's called Raga Miracles. That's Raga's Miracle. Okay. And basically what we just said, you take the frequency and the key of that tune, and you have a long time ago some dudes hung around and like didn't play music, but they got music in their head during each of and because they lived a life of, they didn't have so much non-spiritual attachment, they didn't have any non-spiritual attachment. If the guitar go, the guitar go. When the time for the guitar come back, whatever guitar I have, I'm still studying to show myself, just like non-spiritual attachment. They were able to catalog this stuff, man. It's delightful. And the Raga Miracles, each raga deals with each different aspects, aspect of a person and the moods. When you sing the moods and you connect the dot, preferably if you want to sing the mood, I'd like you to also take a tuner and figure out the key is in, because the ragas are droned down, and there's a reason it's that way, because it's a direct situation. Then you can also hold the meditation of that energy in your mind in the world, which is great. You want to meditate and hold an image and feel the sound. It's pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? Connect the dot, hang the peg. You know what I'm saying? You have like a super meditation, because some of us can't sit still. You know what I'm saying?
Nervous systems are all jacked up, coffee and shit. Wow, that's a great little device. I'm gonna definitely look it up. But that's a cool. It sounds like a cool practice to be able to
Raga Miracle every day. Been doing it with the family, and it's working out great. We just like 6 minutes at a time, and then for me, I can play to it too. And like when I play to it, I'm in that mood. I'm thinking about those images and those colors. I'm in there. Liam is doing his thing. He's jumping in there too. And it's working, because there's one for insomnia. And when it's time to sleep and we've missed it, all I got to do is play that twice. You know what I'm saying? And some Indian dude is yelling in the back to a drone, and, dude transitions pretty naturally.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm always looking for different ways to calm my nervous system. Like I do sound baths, I do meditation, I'll do breath work, but that's cool. I've never, I've used apps before, but that sounds very unique. Definitely gonna try it out.
Yeah, it has the OGs on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, this was an amazing connection, brother. Thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing your life. I would love if we could do just a quick sound bite of some.
Can we do a mic? Can we do a mic check?
Can we do a mic check?
Yeah. Oh man.
I love it. I'm just so happy right now. Every time if you guys are listening to this, you're about to be bathed in love and God. I love it.
How is it coming your way?
Sounds amazing.
So there's one that's called Mother's Land. Sky blue. What does that say?
Kindness matters.
He's such a cornball. Say, whoa, man. It's Mama Africa. shall forever quote. Words cannot be broken. Stuck in like a soul. Pulling with a dozen ropes. So I'm steady plucking. I'm steady plucking every nose with a different story. Touch your soul. You touch my soul. Singing mother's land. Sing your sweet, sweet loving now. Reminiscing, got to take you to the mother's land. Oh, mama, I've been missing your loving, your loving, your loving. The mother's land. I've been missing your sweet, sweet loving now. Reminiscing, got to take you to the mother's land. Oh, mama, I've been missing your loving, your loving, your loving. Missing your loving. Change to adapt to new things. But mother's love very me. So ever I go, mama in my soul. Yeah. So we gon' take it back, 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 back. Back to the day, good music, celebrate, elevate my spirituality. Good music, elevate my spirituality. Take it back, 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 back to days. Sweet, sweet songs about Marley, flood the airway. Singing the woman, the woman, the woman, the woman, the woman, the woman, oh, cry. Africa, Africa, oh, Africa, oh, Africa, tonight. Back, back, yeah, take it, take it, take it, back, 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 back days now, back, back, back in the days, yeah, back, back, back in the days in Africa. Here in my soul, mother's land, missing your sweet, sweet loving now. Reminiscing, got to take you to the mother's land. Oh, mama, I've been missing loving, loving, loving the mother's land. I've been missing your sweet, sweet loving now. Reminiscing, got to take you to the mother's land. Mama, I've been missing loving, loving, loving.
Oh my goodness gracious. I started tearing up, brother. I literally, I have no words. I'm like trying to figure out what to say. The emotion, it's the emotion that's inside right now that you created, that you created a vibration that vibrated in my body. It's like expansion. It's like breathing easier, you know, like lifted off my shoulders kind of feeling. Wow, brother. Wow. That to me is just beautiful, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Thank you.
Yeah. I wrote that one in my mom's store some years ago, Mother's Land. Just hanging around somewhere. It's like, oh, look at that song.
I'm just going to make some magic. Let me just make some magic with this song. No big deal. Wow. Oh, wow. You know, I have to ask this question,
Mhm.
and we can, a few more questions here, but with everything you've experienced and what we're experiencing in the world collectively now, which I believe is like a dark night of the soul, right? On a collective level.
Oh man,
So with everything
Sounds like a
that's happened-
song needs to happen first.
Dark night of the soul. Yes.
I got the perfect song for this one.
Oh. Let's do it.
And I had to juxtapose it because that's where the juxtaposition comes from in the bio, because it's a very happy rhythm to a very, 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 very. I cannot say any more faster than I'm saying very, but very dark song. And I often called it the void. Then I paraphrase this to neon signs because OD. First article with the Marines was an OD. That's what they said. So good, drugs so fine, everybody follows the neon signs. Stand inside, dolly by. Bumping ass with the devil, silicon valley to keep a good time. Very up low. Point your fingers on the rolling warning. Shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em up. Get down low. And wanting more to feel. Got them more who can satisfy. Got them more what will satisfy. Got them more when can they satiate? When can we satiate? Slowly till the sky is filled with diamonds. Yeah, yeah. World once more. Diamonds. The drink so good, the drink so fine, and everybody follows the neon sign standing inside the dotted line.
Wow,
I think I was thinking about playing you another song. I'm sorry that I got sidetracked into the message because that was the message that was part of the mood of this song.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. I'm glad when that happens. It makes me so happy when like you have a plan and then the universe is like, no, let's do this one instead.
Yeah.
Wow, brother. Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful voice and music with my audience, and just being willingness to share it. Right? There's people that use these tools as expression, which is great, but they're never willing to share it. And I think that's like a huge part of, the purpose of life. Like find the skill, find the thing that you love, but share it, share the love so others can be healed by it. I have a question. How do you see, with everything you're experiencing and you're doing now, how do you see humanity moving forward in the way that it is? And does it require this kind of music and love,
Oh, I'm gonna have to play a song to that one.
Great answer.
Actually, that's how we should. We should do that, because even if I don't have the song, I'll write that question down and I'll give you a song for you with the colors and everything.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh man, thank you. Wow. Thank you, man. It's a great question. it feels good with the song. The song goes like, I'm ready to answer this question. I'm like, okay, man. So this one is Eden, or maybe it could be called Ground Zero. I haven't quite made up my mind yet. Or it hasn't quite made up its mind yet. Yeah. But this is definitely the response that I want to hold myself to, you know. This is a mirror. There we go. Here I am. If we add love to the equation, subtract all pain and frustration, multiply what we have in common, divide all fruits in the garden, there be no public display of hatred. Colors won't determine the places we grow. Past the days of meeting halfway, tear down these walls, starting ground zero, growing from ground zero. Time is now, tomorrow might be too late if we can't see eye to eye. The whole world ends up blind. So we mustn't forget now, the roots been sent down by our ancestors, bridge builders, the light workers, the love makers and peace keepers of this world. So you and I can live independently, reaching our mastery, a deeply rooted belonging, a generosity, spiraling, wow, 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 wild and free. Wow, wow. So we spent our days meeting all the way, planting seeds of love, started ground zero, growing ground zero. From ground zero, when we add love to the equation, subtract all pain and frustration, multiply what we have in common, and divide all fruits in the garden.
That's a great answer. Wow, you know, I just noticed something really interesting that you like. You know, I'm used to hearing music a certain way, and you know, you hear the music, and you're like, all right, it's going to take a pivot here, and you go, no, not this way. We're going to go this way, and it's like, oh, that feels so good. You know, it's such an amazing ability to air bend or to style bend the music the way you do, brother. Seriously, wow. How can my audience find you? Where can we find you? And what does the future look for Abraham Zondo Mellish?
Yes. Well, we were just going with the name Zondo because that's the name that must take me back home. Because I, in the spirit of my great-grandfather, I must return to Zondo town. In fact, I went to a dentist and he pulled my tooth and he was trying to take it. It took like 3 hours to get my wisdom tooth out. You know, this dude do his play. It was hard work and he took it out. It was long as Dracula, you know, left pinky. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to keep it. I said, no, I have to return it to Zondo town. I have it right now in my car. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. Yeah, yeah. Is that where you want to be buried? Zondo town?
Yes. But ultimately, that's where I want to be resurrected too, you know, in Zondo town. So I want to spend some time alive in Zondo town. You know, that'll be the best results. But my music right now is entering into this. It's into the stage where the practice of that has been my life, you know, throughout the communities that I've lived and worked with, you know, because like my music hasn't just been me playing music or playing music sick. I'm playing music, rallying people to go to Standing Rock, you know, or I'm like playing music for some elders. We're making the fire, we're chopping wood to go, you know, and after like 4 hours of hauling wood for, you know, some elder, and, you know, I take a time to go play the music, and then that song come out, you know, and it comes out for all the people chopping the wood and for myself and Sacred Son, you know, like I play the music and it comes out for me and all my brothers, and in the usefulness and the necessity of that container, you know. So out of that has come the pressure that I need to give them a reference outside of myself. You know, my music is now past me, so it's great. So now it's like I appreciate the call to be a part of people's lives in this way, and I say thank you, and I'm going to honor that, you know, that need for you to have my music in your life, and those who have had my music in their life will enjoy it, and those who they think will enjoy it, and whoever is, you know, else is out there that I don't know of, or whatever else, even aliens, you know.
That they're entities too. They have bodies too.
I am, you know, going to be spending the next couple of months recording and releasing singles and being prepared to have a album out, you know, by, you know, like, you know, before July would be great.
That's like a good plan. And I'm here in full support of you and your music, and I want to spread it to as many people as possible. So if you want to find Zondo, and by the way, I'm a crypto guy. We didn't talk about crypto at all, but I want to put you as an NFT. I want to get you into the crypto space as an NFT, and that's a whole discussion we're going to have.
Yep. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Say that again.
No, I was going to tell my audience, if you want to find Zondo, he's on Instagram, Zondo Music Official.
Absolutely.
Make sure you check him out. Check out some of his music. It's just amazing.
Yep. And there's a lot of music that you can't access now, dear friends and that I have and ones I'm to become acquainted with. And I look forward to giving that to you in the integral way, in a good way. You know, the way, in America, the Native American people just taught me that whatever you do in America, do it in a good way. Apparently that's like their, standard. You know what I'm saying? So,
be seen, be good, right? Be seen, be good. That's a good little life lesson.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to having being part of something that honors the artist in a way that is, because right now the sonic healing that is going to be very important for being able to express our suppressed voices, and given the way, so sometimes when I'm in such a bad situation, I learned this a long time ago in church, and it really has helped me over the years. I just go like, oh, forget my life, for example. I'm going to go save that person. And I know it's like not what people say you're supposed to do, but it's actually has always worked out for me well. And I learned a whole lot about my situation, helping out that person, and so the balance that the crypto and the NFT brings to the artist space is something that I am I feel good about sharing my energy in that way, knowing that it's not going to be it's not going to be just kind of washed over or just, I'm not going to get taken advantage by some giant corporation that doesn't really, isn't really, connected with the needs of my community. I
call it the bastardization of Hollywood. They take everything natural and just like invert it into all that BS. But yeah, I'm hoping that this space can give you the opportunity that has never existed, which is like full control and opportunity and royalties of your music and your content.
That's some Zondo Town type of.
There you go. That's tapping into some true abundance right there. Let me tell you. Well, brother, thank you so much for joining me. I'm truly grateful and humbled to have done this with you.
This is too short of an interview, man. I'm just getting started. I want to play you more songs to talk about more things. What's going on?
We're gonna do part two. Don't worry. I know my audience is gonna love your interview here, your episode. So we're gonna do part two and make sure that everybody hears you, brother. Truly.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you, brother. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Wow. I am at a loss for words, everyone. I had just the most amazing time connecting with Zondo, and he just displayed a level of love and connection and vibration through that music that I didn't expect on this interview. And so I hope you guys are very happy and excited to have heard that. If you want to learn more about Zondo, make sure you check out his Instagram account. It's Zondo Music Official. And he is going to blow up, guys. So make sure you follow him on Instagram and keep an eye on his music and what he's doing. Zondo Music Official. He's also going to be creating a website. And once we have that, I'll update this interview to make sure that you guys have that as well. We didn't discuss much about crypto in this interview, but the plan is with Zondo is to utilize the NFT space to launch his album. And we're going to start, I'm helping him to put this together, but we're going to start with some singles first and then work our way into, more of an album-based NFT. So I'm really excited to work with him. I'm really excited to share his music with you guys. So make sure you follow him. Make sure you take a look at his music, at least listen to it a little bit. I can tell you that it's going to change your life. And with that, I love you guys. I love you all for listening. And don't ever forget to always gamify your abundance. Have a good day.